The Texans lost to Sim?
Hmm?
Texans lost to Sim?
Yeah, it was equal sim.
You needed a warm up. I had good odds.
You walk right into a real talk wildcard weekend.
Unless they were sending 3 from the south, it was on. You know what I'm saying? World may never know. God damn, both of these niggas burned us. God damn.
The league on fire, fire. We on fire, fire. Turn injuries back on. We don't get a practice mode when you don't have a game to play, right? Start weekly training. Yes, you do. The league on fire, fire. The league on fire, fire. Yeah, man, I can't tickle niggas' feathers. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. So, I spent my first 45 minutes trying to figure it out, reaching out to a nigga and all that. I ain't gonna be kissing nobody's ass. I just know the domino effect. I just know the domino effects of when shit like that happens. Hey, Nano, like, I don't think you realize you really getting the fuck on my nerves, dog. Nah, he typing in the chat, oh, Big Ellie left, sounds good. Well, I don't want to hear that shit right now, bro, for real. Goofy as hell. Yeah, man, so week 17, Falky, we wasn't really too many important games that had to be played. I'm gonna go back to that before we get into who made the playoffs and all that. Well, we can't do it like that. We're playoff. We don't want that one. We're regular season. There we go. Week 17. There we go. All right. I guess the biggest game that we really was waiting on, we got to talk about the Broncos-Titans game. We got to talk about the Jaguars-Ravens game. And then I mean, I would have talked about you in the Seahawks game, but I don't think it's worth the talk now. So, who else was a big game that we had to watch get played? That was kind of what we was waiting on. That's pretty much it. Coming into week 17, but let's get into this hitter spitter game. What's up, man? I mean, you still made the playoffs, but what's up? 38-43 Tennessee Titans ball game, man. What happened? Like, no one wants to come into the playoffs off a week 17 loss, but you guys have done that, and you're in. Can we get a breakdown of the game?
The game plan of just trying to stop the run. We did that successfully in the first half, but the second half, he got loose a couple of times. And then missed the read on a safety play and ended up getting a safety, and that kind of changed the game. Put me down by 2. So.
All right, so Hellburgers definitely just got to upgrade fucking with you, not beat a playoff team. We want to stay with the box score here right now. So, 403 yards offense. Before we get into the stats of the game, what are you saying to these Denver Broncos right now, man? It's that the expectations for the Broncos has been high for at least 7 seasons straight. Your last 2 seasons, you're in the playoffs. Do you see a leap? Or you still see a consistency of not playing at the level of play that the fans and pretty much then the world of RDL has been waiting for you to play? Or the two seasons in a row to make the playoffs is the uprise for this Broncos team?
Yeah, we got back-to-back playoffs. My front line is still young, so they're missing a lot of blocks, so that really hinders my run game. I've really been trying to run a lot more this season. Everybody kind of pegged me as a one-trick pony with the pass, so I've really been trying to run more. And it takes holding blocks and getting holes in order for that to be a key to my game. So you see a drop-off in my passing stats is because I'm trying to run the ball more.
Falky, turn your mic on. We can't hear you. The one consistent common denominator for you has been your defensive play. At the same time, it seems like your defense is being let down a lot as well. They play strong in most of your games right now. You are becoming an aging team that's getting up there in age. How do you balance that movement, knowing that you got a whole shitload of veterans on your team?
Well, I'm still trying to mix and match, 7 players in and out, trying to see which combination works best. I still haven't quite found that yet, but hopefully this week I put all the right pieces in the right place, and we can walk out of these playoffs with a victory, our first playoff victory.
Right. Now, you guys are matched up with these Ravens, and we just saw the Ravens again in a Jaguar game that could have gave them a bye, with Lamar Jackson running for 500 yards again. This was a regular season matchup this year for you guys as well, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go back to that game, and we're going to talk playoff talk with you in the regular season. So you had the Ravens week 5, and you lost 52-13, man. Is that a memory of that game? Is that embedded in your players' head? Like, are you going to use that as a positive?
Not really, because that game was one of those games where the ball didn't bounce my way none of the times, and he got all the breaks. So hopefully this game will be a little bit calmer, vice versa, where I get the breaks. Those drop fumbles and miss assignments, stuff like that.
Now, your quarterback, N'Kosi Perry, has, this was week 5. That was his first regular season, as a full-time starter, actually. He threw 5 picks in this game. I don't want to go back into that, but has it been a transformation from N'Kosi Perry in the beginning of the year to the N'Kosi we're dealing with now?
Oh, definitely. He definitely picked up, turned turn that ratio around. He come a little bit more comfortable in the pocket now. He's making better reads, better throws. His timing is a lot on point with the wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs.
So the game slowed down for him. The offense is starting to pick
definitely.
up. So you can open up a little bit more of that offense now for him.
Yeah. He got the full arsenal. He got everything. You know, it's just all about calling the right plays at the right time.
All right. So again, you're coming into the playoffs. You travel to you're going to be actually traveling to Baltimore for this game. The weather element won't be a problem. You guys are used to playing in whatever element you have to play in. What are your keys to being able to come out of this game victorious to get your team out of the first round of the playoffs?
Force turnovers. Definitely win the turnover battle.
We're dealing with a quarterback that most think won't play in the game. You can't ignore the two-system quarterback that we have over here. But I don't want to call it more of a two-system quarterback. I mean, you tell me if you're in agreement with this. Bryce Young is the guy that's going to throw the streaks, the long ball, all game long for the most part. But they have that element with Lamar Jackson, that quarterback for the Boomcat offense, which he's going to come in that game, especially if the game's close. We've seen the pattern of the Ravens. If it's a close game, Lamar Jackson is completely taking over the quarterback spot, and he's going in a straight run mode. If the game is he's controlling it and they having their way with the team they're playing, then you're going to see what we've seen in Week 5, which is 156.2 rating, 180 yards from Bryce Young, 3 touchdowns, no INTs, which him throwing the ball a lot more, 12 for 15. We're going to see that. My question to you is, what do you rather than make the Ravens do? Sit Lamar down or bring Lamar on the field? Because it's a twofold to that. If Lamar's on the field, it's because he needs him and the game is tight. But if he's not on the field, that means it's looking ugly for you. So how do you combat that?
He's going to put Lamar in. He put Lamar in last game because he had to. So it's just about when he's playing Lamar. I've noticed the last few weeks he started with Lamar and brought in Bryce late.
Okay. And early on, often it was more Bryce starts off and Lamar comes in. Now it's a little bit more Lamar. So we get into the time where playoffs is in front of you and you need to win. So it's Lamar Jackson show. Bryce comes in when you need him to. Do you think a team with a 2-quarterback system can win a Super Bowl?
Super Bowl? Possibly. The odds are slim, but it's definitely possible.
All right. So overall, man, it comes down to your keys to this game. Outside of we know you got to stop Lamar Jackson. Offensively, what do you expect for your Broncos to do tonight?
Ball control, catching passes, or blocking for my running backs, and then just let my defense do what they got to do.
And it's playoff football, so when it comes down to playoff, you're going to see a lot of meta blitzing and a lot of stretch right, stretch left. You're not a team that actually lives off of the meta blitz or the stretch right, stretch left. Do you think you have to turn your team into that to be successful in these playoffs, or you're cool with your game plan and playing the way you play?
No, I don't want to get out of character. When I usually get out of character, that's when I get blown out. So I'm going to just stick to my game plan, just call my plays, and hopefully that everything works out in my favor.
All right. So again, Nkosi turned it around. 29 INTs, 39 touchdowns this year, 3,600, 61%. He's definitely turned around. After having a full season of starting right now, does he have the respect and does he have the locker room?
Yeah, he's definitely the man. He's got the captain tag now, so he got the. He's definitely a leader in the locker room, and it's showing out on the field.
Now, you made reference to your offensive line being young. And when you talk about the young, you got second-year left tackle Harry Miller, who's given up 18 sacks this season. You got Sean Ryan, who's in his second year as well, who's given up 10 sacks this season. So your young players, Creed Humphrey, that center, who's given up 9, and then Amari Kite, who's given up 8, and then William Putnam, who's given up 5. When it comes to your older guys, they don't have no sacks given up. So your older guys is actually holding your team down, but you're playing a lot of these young guys. That's a lot of sacks to be given up from the 4 starters that's young.
Only had one old guy.
Right.
He doesn't start, so.
And he don't also. So these 0 sacks is because they're not on the field right now.
Because he's not on the field.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So your 5 starting linemen, man, has given up a shitload of sacks this season, man. And in the playoffs, especially a team that like the Broncos is not going to line up and run the ball 32 times at you. What do you tell these young guys in a big moment to protect their quarterback? How do you get the best out of them?
Just let them sit them down and tell them it's time to play. You know, it's time for them to grow up. It's their second, third year in the league, and they should be used to what they're about to face.
And you're playing this Baltimore Ravens team who's going to blitz you 99.9% of the time. You're going to see the blitz. It's coming fast, often and early. Again, how do you combat that? How do you prepare your guys for that?
You know, quick reads. Try to get them out of the blitz. Make them respect my game.
All right. So that's on the offensive side of things. You know what? Let's stay there. You do have a 1,000-yard back in Anthony McFarland. Overall, how do you feel about McFarland as the number 1 guy back here?
Yeah, he's definitely the guy I thought he was when I brought him in. You know, he still kind of putting the ball on the ground. But a lot of those were on the sidelines, so I didn't quite lose those. But he still got to hold on to the ball.
No doubt. And in the receiving game, Sheldon Ward was a 1,000-yard receiver, 11 touchdowns. He did take the back seat this season to Darren Jones. Darren Jones with 14 touchdowns and almost a 1,000-yard receiver. Overall, you are throwing the ball around the park with your guys. You got a lot of guys with 30-plus catches on this football team. That's the spread, and that spread is not the same as we seen when you had Skywalker at quarterback. So is that the difference that Nkosi brings to the table, getting the ball to all these guys?
Yeah, definitely. My wide receivers grew up a lot. You know, my whole little core, you know, I had them in the farm system, so they quite ready. Like Colin Johnson, he came in as the number 2 for a while, and then once we got DJ 6'8", you know, he welcomed the role of going to the slot, and you know, Prince wasn't upset with the fact that he had to give up his spot in the slot, move back to the 4. So, you know, all those aspects really help out my offense because there's no animosity on the team. So when everybody called it and the numbers get called, they come in and they play.
No doubt. Now, you know, some would say that this is a basketball team on a football field with these 6'5", 6'8", and 6'6" at receiver. Your top 3 receivers, along with your 6'7" tight end. Some, you know, the red zone. You know, we heard Aaron Hernandez screaming it after the loss against the Tennessee Titans and said we get to the red zone a whole lot, but the chances of us and using our abilities and our height isn't as high as I would like it to be. We love what the coach calls. We don't go against what he's calling, play calling, but we just think the height of our receivers and the athletic ability they have, we should get a lot more shots when we're inside the 20. What do you say to a kid that's talking like that?
Trying to live and die with the interceptions in the red zone, so I try to be a little bit more conservative in the red zone. Maybe that's a downfall for me, but he has to understand that I can't get in the red zone and throw a pick after a long drive.
No doubt. All right, so defensively, we know the captain of your defense, man, for sure, early and often, is the aging veteran, 9 years, 10 years in the league. We talking about Brian B.G. Gonzalez, man. 21 sacks again. He's been dominant as the man in the middle, holding the things down. You do have some studs around him right now that's playing pretty well. This linebacker core is a mixture of veterans and young guys put together, and they're playing solid for you. On the back end, though, when it comes down to your cornerback positions, you have guys that has once been called the best corner in the league in Deuce Ramsey. You have an upcoming young kid in Chris Stills right now. These guys are getting to the football, picking things off right now. What are you asking for them into this Ravens game? Because you're not going to see a team that you're going to have to line up and cover routes and, you know, and be glue trap guys on top of receivers. You're going to get shots, nothing but shot plays down the field, and a lot of the college style boom cat offense. So, what do you need these guys to do as a secondary more than just covering receivers right now?
I need them to come up and attack the tight ends and the fullbacks, and come off blocks and make tackles, along with the play action, covering the wide receiver. Don't bite too hard on the play actions, and just come up with a couple of picks, maybe a forced fumble or two.
Again, coming off a big time loss against the Tennessee Titans. Oh wow. Oh wow. Damn, yo. I'm getting married. Ain't this a motherfucker?
You married, cuz? Congrats.
Wow. Oh shit.
What, you just got proposed to?
Oh, no, she
Oh,
came
my
up
God.
with a plus.
Huh?
He put a baby in her.
Man.
Oh, is she pregnant?
Oh, I don't know. So I got a surprise for you, though.
Oh, shit.
She said she got a surprise for you.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise, motherfucker.
So why would it be you get married?
Real lives,
She said that
motherfucker.
shit. She like, it's been 12 years. Are you marrying me?
That's an ultimatum.
I guess I'm getting married. Damn, that just blew my shit. Oh. Come on, man. What the fuck?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Man. I said, I'm a little frustrated right now. I said, niggas in the league blowing my shit. She said, fuck all that. It's been 12 years. Are you marrying me?
What you gonna do, nigga?
What you gonna do?
She's
Shit,
like,
get off the pot. What you gonna do?
Hold up. She's like, I'm talking about courthouse marrying me ASAP, and then afterwards we can have a wedding down the line. Wow.
Some bullshit, nigga.
I do. Oh God. What? Bro, I can't. Oh my God, it just blew my shit. It ain't blow my shit. Like I don't want. Oh God. Anyway, all right. Let me get back to this interview shit. I don't want to fuck all over the place now. It just blew my shit. Oh Lord.
I think we need to take a break.
Fuck, what you think, man?
We need to come back to this real talk.
Oh my God.
That's just it.
Yeah, get your what you call together, man. We come back. We'll resume this, man. Let's take a 20-minute pause, man, or come back later tonight, man.
Yeah, we'll holler at y'all in a second. Jesus Christ.